whitewashed buildings that was on one side of us and the ocean on the other side of us. It was like it just disappeared. And all I could see was the footsteps of the guy that was leading us to where the villa was. And by the time we got to the villas, everything reappeared again. And our villa was in front of the two blue dome churches that Santorini is known for. You know, when people go there, you know, when you go to the travel agency and you see pictures of Santorini, you see the two dome churches. And then later that night, my husband said that I started talking in a different tongue in the middle of the night.
So incredible. So
Yeah.
you don't think it was more like deja vu as much as it was you picturing being there before? Like deja vu is kind of that same concept,
Yeah.
but it was a little bit
Well,
more
see,
detailed.
right. And at the time, I wasn't a Christian, and I didn't know very much about God or anything. So I don't know if maybe it was, you know, something to do with God or something to do with, you know, because they were very well, the Greeks were very well known for the different types of gods and stuff. So I don't know if maybe, you know, at that time I felt like I was reincarnated. Maybe it might have been that I was there before, you know, my spirit or something. So we went back the following year, and we never experienced that. And I found out my husband experienced the same thing when we went walking through the steps kind of thing, and everything disappeared, and then it reappeared.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
So with all these different types of careers that you've actually had, when did you decide that you would like to become an author? I mean, have you written any other books besides Happy Birthday, Kaylee?
Yes, actually, the first thing that I've written and got published was the Universal Pet Passport. And what made me decide to do that was when my husband and I were in Greece, we adopted a cat from there.
Okay.
And we brought the cat back, and we had a little book that the veterinarian gave us, and then we took a little picture of him and put it in there, and it was like a little passport for him. So they didn't have anything like that in the States. So I said, I want to, you know, try putting something together, you know, and getting it patent or whatever. And so I just been putting it off, and, you know, 20 years later, I went ahead and created the Universal Pet Passport. So that's what I had out first. And then this story came out about Casey Anthony and what she did to her child. And how this story came about was I went to sleep after the verdict was read. I was upset like everybody else, you know, that she got off on murder. And so I said, you know, God, if there's something that I can do to help other people with this terrible situation that's happened and to help other children in abusive situations, you know, use me. And then later that night, I went to sleep and I had a dream. I got up about 2:30 in the morning and I started writing it out, but I didn't remember what I wrote. I just kind of wrote in my journal. And then I woke up the next day and I read what I wrote and I said, wow, did I write that?
That's
and
really cool.
yeah, so then I started looking online for children book authors, publishers, and artists and stuff like that, and I knew exactly what I wanted, and it came about after that. And so this book is actually being sold online in the bookstores, and I've given my first royalty check to Missing Exploited Children's Foundation.
Aw, congratulations. That must have felt
Thank
really
you.
nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So basically, my listeners, that's exactly why she's on here, because that's the kind of the link to the paranormal, my paranormal show. It's like you had a dream, you had a different type of inspiration. And that's the thing, like, people don't understand, like, all different types of situations, like whether they're spiritual or whatever. That's the kind of stuff I like to cover on here. And you were like basically inspired to do this. You were like, is there anything
Right.
I could do? It wasn't like, is there anything I can write? You were
Right.
like inspired to write this book. And
Right.
do you have any children yourself?
No, actually, I don't. And that's the funny thing about it was on the back of the book, it actually says that I wasn't able to have children of my own. Actually, there's different situations. I would have had actually 3 children, but I wasn't able to carry them. So, so every time I see, different kids that would have been close to my children's age, I get a little emotional, and I said, what would it have been like if I would have, been a grandmother, which I would have been a grandmother by now, but I love children, and I wanted to do something to help children. And I was actually in an abusive relationship in the past, and also my childhood wasn't really that great of a childhood. So I can understand, some of the kids that's been in an abusive childhood, because I've been there myself. So I basically I've been writing children's books just to help kids in different situations. Like this book here, a lot of the grandparents, when they read it, they start crying because they can relate to it and read it to their grandchildren, and the kids the same thing. They can read it and understand what it means, and what the next life would be, if something was to happen to them.
So, do you have any other plans? I mean, are you going to continue to be an author now, or was this it would be a second time inspiration to write, or is this something you're going to pursue a little bit more heavily?
Actually, I am pursuing it a little bit more heavily. I mean, of course, my career is in the hearing industry, but I have written some other books, but I just haven't gotten them published yet.
Okay.
So I actually have another book out that I wrote, and it's to help kids with a lot of kids get scared to go into the dentist. So I actually wrote a book about, not being fearful going to the dentist.
Oh, that's nice.
So I wrote one of those, and I also wrote a book about my 2 cats that I had, and one of them I brought from Greece, and the other one, and it's kind of funny because the Greek cat had an American name, and then the American cat had a Greek name, Socrates. So, I actually wrote a book called Chitters and Socks Greek Adventure. So it's really cute. I'm in the process right now of having a friend do some of the drawings and stuff. So I've been working on it for over a year, trying to get the right type of pictures that I want and that kind of thing.
That's so awesome. So are you going to focus on children's books primarily?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you want to tell us a little bit about the story and a little bit, maybe read us a couple of pages and just give us an idea of how it flows? I mean, I know it's 36 pages, isn't it? Or
yeah, but most of it is drawings and stuff in it too, because it's a visual book for kids. But I will read what it says on the back of it. The story of Kaylee Marie touched the heart of everyone throughout the world. Happy Birthday, Kaylee is a children's book of love celebrating Kaylee in heaven. Kaylee will always live in our minds, in our hearts, and in our faith of a life with Jesus.
That's really sweet.
The first part of the book is actually about her short-lived life here on earth. And the way I wrote it is to where it's not going to scare the kids, or it doesn't have any information on the family. It just mainly focuses on her. So the one part that I did put on here was, to all the many people all over the world who were impacted by little Kaylee Marie. Never forget to love and hug your children. Jesus said, let the little children come to me and do not hinder them, for such belongs the kingdom of heaven, which is out of Matthew 19:14. So the first part of the book talks about that she was a beautiful little baby girl, and her name was Kaylee Marie, and she was the apple of God's eye. Kaylee loved to play, loved to sing, loved to dance, loved to laugh. Kaylee loved to play in her own house, which was made special for her. Around the house was a table, chairs, and an umbrella over there. Her house is beautiful. It has a mailbox, a sidewalk, a bench to sit on, and a garden. She loved to go swimming in the pool, which was so cool. She also loved to dress up and sing and dance. Kaylee loved to look at her favorite books, such as Winnie the Pooh. She even had her bedroom dressed up in Winnie the Pooh. One day, Kaylee was lost. No one could find her. Everyone looked for her everywhere. No one could find Kaylee. Where could she be? We missed our little Kaylee Marie. Then one day we remembered how Kaylee loved Jesus and wanted to see him. Could it be that Kaylee was with him? We looked up to the sky, and there she was, climbing the stairs into the arms of Jesus. When Kaylee went to heaven, Jesus told her of her creation. Jesus smiled and welcomed little Kaylee, gave her a hug, and showered her with love. Kaylee smiled too and said, "Is it really you? Am I a bother?" Jesus said, "You're never a bother. It is I, your Father." Then Jesus said, "I knew you, Kaylee Marie, before you were born. I made you for all the earth to love you." Jesus, did I do well? Yes, my child, you did swell. Welcome to the kingdom of heaven. Enjoy the life you were meant to live. Live happy, live free, live in love, you and me. Jesus walked with Kaylee and showed her around her brand new home and introduced her to her new family. It was Kaylee's first day in heaven, and the angels celebrated her first birthday in heaven. First thing the angels did was give Kaylee a gold crown, sprinkle gold dust in her hair, and robed her in a white glowing gown. She was also fitted with a gold sash and gold sandals to walk in. Then Jesus gave her angel wings so that she could fly anywhere in heaven. Kaylee smiled at Jesus as he held her hand to give her a grand tour of heaven. It was big and bright. The trees, grass, flowers all sang beautiful music as Kaylee walked by. Kaylee was able to also talk to the animals that were in heaven. Everyone there was the same. They had the same thoughts, the same happiness. There was no pain, no sadness, no crying. Everyone there sat to listen to Jesus speak and sing glory to God in the highest. Praise the Lamb of God. It was beautiful. Hold on a minute. Kaylee was treated like a princess. She was God's most beloved treasure, and everyone adored her. Kaylee is loved and is happy with her heavenly family now. She welcomes new family members to heaven where everyone lives in God's glory. That's it.
Oh, that is such a beautiful book. Thank you so much for reading it to all of us, and it almost makes me cry.
You're welcome.
It's so sweet. You did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
And
I'm glad it's helping a lot of people too. So
yeah, I mean the way I can tell it was totally inspired, because I mean anybody who would maybe at first thought be like, how could that tragedy be turned into a children's book? But just the way that you were like, where is she? Could it be that she's in heaven? Like that type of a thing. I mean, that was just a simply beautiful and graceful way of explaining to a child what happened without even saying anything negative.
Exactly, yeah. And like I said, the first part of it just basically told everybody that, that this is how it was. She had her own little playhouse. She liked certain things. And from watching the court case, and, they talked about different things, that she liked to swim and whatnot. And then, they mentioned one little area where she, climbed into the pool kind of thing. And that it was kind of interesting how I was able to incorporate that into the book like that. But the funny thing was, I never planned it to flow like it did.
Yeah, it
So
really
I never
did.
changed. Yeah, I never changed anything on it. So, so I was really excited. I actually, while I was in the process of putting it all together, my hairdresser has a couple of children, and they're now they're 5 and 6. And at the time when I wrote it, they were 3 and 4. And so the older brother was reading it to his little sister, and he goes, "Is there more?"
That's so sweet.
So I wanted to get the attention of the kids to see if it was going to, be the right type of book for that age group.
Well,
And so it was. And then I had a couple of people that I knew, older people that have grandkids, and I had them read it, and the first thing they started doing was crying as soon as they read it and saw the pictures.
well, Sharon, we're actually going to go to a break. So everybody listening, this is Sharon Roberts, the author of Happy Birthday, Kaylee. We just heard the beautiful story. Everybody stay tuned. We're going to be talking more about this book and some of the inspirations and just questions that we may have behind it. If you'd like to call in after the break, the number is 530-742-5555. We'll be right back.
You are tuned to The Dirt.
Hi, I'm Aaliyah Campbell, the broker-owner of Campbell Realty and one of the top listing agents in the Yuba Sutter area. Have you been thinking about selling your home, but you aren't sure how to prepare it or even what it's worth? The right preparation before listing your home can mean thousands of dollars in your pocket at the closing table. Call me today at 530-301-3164 for a personal appointment where I can advise you on how to stage your home, how to increase its curb appeal, and even how to price your home to maximize your profit, all with spending little or no money out of your own pocket. Call or text me today at 530-301-3164 and make an appointment to see how I can help you sell your home quickly and at a great price. Or visit my website at campbellrealtyca.com. Don't settle for anything less than the best. Call or text me at 530-301-3164 and let's talk. Equal Opportunity Housing, Cal BRE 01236216 and 2011 Realtor Broker of the Year.
The Caltrans crews are hard at work improving the roads here in Marysville, and Lakeview Center is right in the middle of it. But we're still open 24/7 for all your cool treats, summer snacks, and the coldest beer in town. Hi, this is Rhonda Howe. Here at Circle K in Lakeview Center, we have 18 packs of Bud, Coors, Miller, and Tecate for $11.99. There's always fresh food on the grill. Sandwiches are available morning, noon, and night. In this sweltering heat of summer, Polar Pops and Frosters for only 89 cents, any size. Or Free Time Java can blend up one of your favorite coffee drinks. Or a smoothie. Have you tried our Chunky Mungie or Go Bananas? The construction dust has your car a bit dusty. Give it a bath at the car wash. And if your tank needs filling up, pull right up, fill it up. So while the construction continues this summer, we just want to say thanks for making the effort to come to Circle K and Free Time Java here at Lakeview Center at 12th and B on the lake in Marysville.
Whether it's weekend camping at your favorite site or touring the country to visit the wonders of the United States, All Seasons RV Center has the RV for you. All Seasons RV Center has a full range of travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and tent trailers to suit your every need. No one in Northern California offers a more complete selection than All Seasons RV Center, and nobody beats All Seasons RV Center's prices. All Seasons RV Center has one of the largest parts and accessories departments in Northern California, and our RVIA and RVDA certified technicians are experts on plumbing, electrical, bodywork, awnings, appliances, air conditioning, heating, and hitches to service your every RV need. All Seasons RV Center is located in 2 convenient locations to serve you. Parts and service at 3300 Colusa Highway off the George Washington exit, and sales on the corner of Highways 99 and 20 in Yuba City. Or you can visit us on the web at allseasonsrvcenter.com.
You are tuned to The Dirt.
Get interactive with Lori by contacting her blog at lorischultz.blogspot.com. Here comes your diva of the dark, Lori Schulz.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into The Dirt. We have our special guest, Sharon Roberts, with us today, the author of Happy Birthday, Kaylee. And are you still here with us, Sharon?
Yes, I am. Mm-hmm.
Hi. Again, I just want to say thank you for reading the story to us. If anybody would like to call in and talk about this case or any other paranormal experiences that you may have had, the number is 530-742-5555. We'd love to hear from you. So basically, I know that it's like a tough subject for a lot of people to talk about and for people to realize that there could be material for a children's book with this. I mean, we are actually just kind of talking about it right here on the radio station, just because, I mean, just the way you had it flow, like, I think a lot of people would be like, whoa, how can you take something that's, like, seriously the most...
A tragedy.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and turn it
Yeah.
into that. But, like, weren't you saying that this book is also placed in, like, some therapy or some... places, where is it like located? Like, don't some of like doctors' offices or something have it or something like that?
We actually have here in Daytona Beach, we have a children's advocacy group.
Okay.
And so my book is actually being used by the counselors to help children with situations where they have lost a loved one or a sibling. And so they are reading my books to them to help them cope with that. I also, before I went ahead and gave them a book to use, and now they actually have several copies over there, when they read the book, they said, you actually cover 5 of the grieving process of losing a loved one from the book. And I said, really? I didn't know that. So it made me feel good that I was able to help, these kids overcome the grieving process. It's also being used at a counseling center in town as well to help kids and families that have lost somebody in a tragic accident and things like that.
So have you ever been in contact with any of the, the Anthony family or them?
Yeah,
you?
yeah, I have. Mm-hmm.